to build with runners, spectators, families and helpers all enjoying the great day. The pace from the word go was fast as the elite runners made sure they had a good position leaving the stadium. The early pace was just over 3 minutes per kilometre, good at the altitude of about 900 metres above sea level. There were still more than 20 men in the pack. In the women's race, Valentine Kipkita, wearing race number 2361, was going hard with Doreen Kitaka, Mary Nali and Beatrice Ruto also in contention. The women's race looked like it was going to be a cracker of an event. The contrast between the elite athletes up front and those cruising along behind was clear. The beauty of road races such as this is that it gives everyone the chance to set their own goals and achieve them, be they fast, medium or slow. The large group of men in the marathon race was still together. Their pace pointed towards another sub 2 hours and 20-minute finishing time, something we've come to expect in this race, which is now one of Africa's premier standard marathons. Priscilla Jabet was 9th in the women's race at this stage, with Consolata Lorenge and Gladys Chariot not far ahead. Doris Tadupis, Alpha Duruke and Evelyn Ruto were also in the top 9. All these women could see the leading athletes ahead of them. There had been no change as the same duo of Panuela Katsina and Anne Kamau was still together. By now, the top men were passing the KK security water point at 14 kilometers. Shabani Tuji and Andrew Selune were now the leaders, with the chasing pack quite a long way back, but still with more than a dozen runners together. At the Precision Air water point 15 k's into the race, there was much competition for the drinks. Now the leaders were about to re-enter Moshi, where they could expect significant spectator support. Always a great help when you're racing this hard and this fast. This region of Tanzania is famous for introducing an amazing blue gemstone called Tanzanite.
Tanzanite won and formerly AFGEM has been involved with the Kili Marathon now for the last 9 years. This year we've entered a corporate team of approximately 70 runners, and we'll also have 60 staff at our water point which will be assisting the runners on the day. One of the projects that we're launching together with the marathon is a fundraising effort for the HIV/AIDS orphanage in Merelani called the Good Hope Centre.
The Good Hope program was established here in Merelani as a community-based organization to support the most vulnerable children, especially working in the mining. And we have reached many children, about 1,500, but at the moment we have about 60 children supporting them in primary school and at home. We are really grateful for Tanzanite One in supporting the project.
The runners have all been encouraged to go and gain sponsorships, either per kilometre or for completion of the race as a whole. All the funds, every single shilling, will then be handed over to the Good Hope HIV/AIDS orphanage, to the centre for their use and to assist the kids that are there.
Me as an employee of Tanzanite One, I thought it would be also very important for myself to run and represent the company in raising these funds.
You know, this marathon is going to help out for instance, we are going to help for the people that have got no fathers. The fathers have been dead, so they are going to help for the HIV. This marathon is going to help a lot of things, so I'm very interested with this marathon this year.
Tanzanite One Kili Marathon! The DT Dobie water point is at a critical place, the turn point at 10 kilometers in the half marathon race. William Nyarandia was just off the pace of the lead group, which was still heading for a finishing time of about 63 minutes. A great time. The run back to Moshi was gentle downhill, so the men were expected to even pick up the pace more as they moved through the second half of the race. Michael Kamau in the green vest and Leonard Malina in the red had been pushing the pace for a while, and now they asserted themselves by taking the outright lead. The closer they got to Moshi, the more the other runners fell back. It was a two-horse race as they sped through the Kilimanjaro water refreshment station at 16 kilometers or 10 miles. The women's race was just as competitive. Beatrice Ruto in the yellow shirt and Emily Behut were just off the pace in the women's competition, a few meters behind Doreen Kitaka in second place. At this stage, race leader Valentine Kipkita had opened up a small but key gap over the other women. Back Back at the stadium, the crowds were getting ready for the Vodacom 5-kilometer fun run. There were literally hundreds of them, young and old, ready to be part of the biggest running event of the year. This was not really about positions and climbs, it was all about having fun, being out there with friends and family, and of course, finishing the course. Even so, the start was a mad scramble as everyone hoped to be a big marathon star and to run the first kilometer in under 3 minutes.
This year Vodacom has celebrated 10th year anniversary of being in Tanzania. So we are all proud that we have reached 10 years and we are still the leading cellular network in Tanzania.
Soon though, it all settled down. Most of the people just happy to walk. The streets of Moshi were filled with people running, jogging and walking along. For some, it would be the start of a serious running career. For others, just a once-off fun experience. Many ran as fast as they could and completed the distance in under 16 minutes. For the sponsors Vodacom, the increase in numbers was most gratifying.
Very huge improvement comparing to last year. Last year we had about 1,500 participants, but this year we had over 2,000 participants. It was great. Well, we did quite a lot of promotions to promote our 5-kilometer fun run, but above all, we have improved our prizes. This year we had a lot of prizes, cash prizes, we had handsets, we had airtime for our winners, so we have improved a lot with the prizes this year.
Out on the road, the marathon race was still going strong. The same 6 women were in the same positions and there had been no change up front, with Kamau and Kantasigna still neck and neck. Their race predicted a 3-hour finishing time, but the winner was still anyone's guess. The International School of Moshi's Waterpoint was positioned close to town, just before the long pull up to the turn at Mweka College. The route was still lined with spectators, one of which was Bat Grobler from Tanzania Breweries, encouraging the leaders, but by now the large group of men had broken up into splinter groups of 2 or 3, while third-placed woman Alpha Druke looked like she was taking some strain on the uphill section of the course. To the disappointment of the rather partisan crowd, Anne Kamau from Kenya put in a surge to get away from Banuela Katsigna, the only Tanzanian woman in the top 10. Kipkemoy Kisang also used this stretch of road to make his move in the men's race, but there was still a long way to go for the marathon men as they caught half-marathon runners going up and down the Mweka road, making it slightly difficult to weave around them. Then numbers 167 Julius Kilimo took his chance and moved past Kipsang. The race was turning into a real thriller. By now the half-marathon leaders were close to the finish and the crowd waited in anticipation of a really close finish. The tension was building, but in the end, it was Michael Kamau who took the win from Leonard Molina and Jeffrey Ndungu. The first 2 men broke 64 minutes in a high-standard competition over 21 kilometers.
The race was very competitive because the competition was very stiff. Because we have my fellow Kenyans, they're giving me a very stiff competition. But I have a lot of energy and I made it to be the winner.
Then it was the turn of the women to finish. Valentine Kipkita took first place, breaking 75 minutes, with Doreen Kitaka, Mary Nali and Emily Bihut finishing shortly after her.
It's so hard competition for today, but it is good for me because it is the first time for me to run a half marathon.
The 21.1 kilometer distance is a real test of athletic ability, and today in Moshi, 48 men broke 70 minutes. A total number of over 1,300 people finished the race, an excellent result and indicative of how much the event has grown since its inception. Everyone was really thirsty afterwards, particularly Tanzanian Breweries Robin Gucci, who also finished the race well.
I need a killie!
Michael Kamau won by 4 seconds from Leonard Molina, with Kenyans taking the first 6 places. Valentine Kipkita ran well to finish in 74.58, with all top 10 women breaking 80 minutes. Anne Kamau was now well ahead of retiring Banuela Katsigina in the marathon, with Alva Duruki still third. In the men's race, Julius Suri was third, and Kip Kamoy Kipsang and Julius Kilimo still swapping the lead up front.